Hello, welcome to my instructional design video about the ADDIE model. The ADDIE model is a 5-phase instructional design model that includes analysis, design, development, implementation, and evaluation. It was first developed for the military and is used today in many private sectors for training and learning events that are not time sensitive. Today, I will be explaining how ADDIE can work to help maintain the work that you are trying to accomplish and how you can adapt ADDIE to help manage the course you may be developing. So let's get started. I found this ADDIE model on Google Images and cannot take credit for this wonderful information map, but it did help me understand the process of the ADDIE model more thoroughly. The first phase of the ADDIE model is analyze. The analyzation phase is very similar to a checklist. Within this step, you need to be asking the questions: what is my training lesson going to be about? What materials do I need, and what materials do I have that already exist for this course? What assessments requirements are needed? Are there already assessments created? What are the most important things people need to know throughout this training? What e-learning elements need to be in place for this training to be effective? The subject matter expert is a good person to have as part of this process. The subject matter expert can give some phenomenal guidance and expertise on many topics for the training. 3 things to keep in mind while working with the subject matter expert are: prepare yourself with training topic knowledge. Practice active listening. And try your best to communicate and collaborate effectively. Once the analyzation step has been completed, get head of program's approval. Then, move forward to the design phase. If head of program does not approve, start over with the beginning of the analyzation phase. The second phase is the design phase. The design phase is very similar to a blueprint of the training. In this phase, you will design the e-course. What platform will you use? It's good to create a storyboard for this particular phase. It allows you, the subject matter expert, and the head of program to collaborate effectively. In this phase, again, the subject matter expert will be your best buddy. You will rely on them for most of the information needed to accomplish the training. After you decide what e-course program you will use, you will have to design the assessment structure. In the storyboard, this is where you can jot down the key information, skills, and objectives that people will need to accomplish for the training. After you have designed the assessment structure, then you can design your lesson. Through designing the lesson, you can rely on your subject matter expert to help with image suggestions, interactive options, scenarios and case examples, and resources about the topic. Once the design phase has been completed, get head of program approval, then move forward to the development phase. If head of program does not approve, go back to reanalyze the training development checklist. The third phase is the development phase. The development phase could take a long time or not long at all, depending on the development scale. There are many different people and programs/tools that can be used for this phase, which can sometimes make the process time-consuming and costly. Within this phase, you will need to develop e-learning elements. What programs, multimedia, gamification, and audiovisual tools will you use? You will need to develop assessments, the assessment elements. Will there be multi-choice questions, scenario-based questions, and will there be formative assessments, summative assessments, or both? You will need to develop discussion elements. What material will be covered? How will the material be taught to the audience? Will it be direct information through statement, or will information be guided through scenarios? And you will need to develop collaborative elements. Will there be face-to-face, video conferences, message boards, or end-of-course feedback-style discussions? Once the development phase has been completed, get the head of programs approval. Then move forward to the implementation phase. If head of program does not approve, go back to the beginning of the development stage and tweak or redo the development phase. The fourth phase is the implementation phase. This phase deals with pilot trials and orientation trials. Within this phase, you will need to do a pilot run or review of course with technology training personnel, head of program, online tutors, and students. After trial run, generate feedback. Review feedback. Make sure to take feedback seriously and make necessary changes. After necessary changes have been made, get head of program's approval and roll out the e-course. If head of program does not approve, go back and make more necessary changes. The final, fifth phase is the evaluation phase. This phase is centered around feedback from viewers and students. You will need to conduct a post-training evaluation, which could simply be a survey. Look over evaluation feedback and recommend improvements with the development team who helped create the training and the head of program. If revision improvements are approved, revise material and version number. If revision improvements are not approved, go back and reevaluate the recommended improvements to make them more feasible. And that's the steps of the ADDIE model in instructional design. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed.